Thanks for joining us. You're watching ARIRANG News Break on this Thursday, July 28th. I'm Han-daeun in Seoul. The fate of a controversial anti-graft law was decided today. The Constitutional Court ruled that the so-called Kim Young-nan Act, named after the person who proposed it, is constitutional. For more on that, we have our Kim Young-gil on the line. Myung-gil, tell us more.
Hello, Tom. The Constitutional Court issued its ruling just an hour ago, saying that the law does not violate the Constitution. As you may remember, the law, which is aimed at deterring corruption in the public sector, was passed in March of last year. When it passed, controversy arose over the law's inclusion of journalists and private school teachers. That prompted the Korean Bar Association, the Journalists Association of Korea, private school teachers, and kindergarten principals to file a constitutional appeal, claiming that the law puts excessive regulation on the private sector. The court's ruling in favor of the law said the press and private schools would not be able to prevent corruption without being subject to the law. Under the law slated to take effect on September 28th, it will be illegal for civil servants, journalists, and educators hired by private schools to receive goods and services worth more than a combined $887 over a one-year period.
Thank you, Myung-gil. Malta has become the first European country to deport North Korean workers amid growing concerns about Pyongyang's use of forced labor in Europe. According to Maltese government sources, some 20 North Koreans working in local construction sites and clothing factories left the country in May after local authorities refused to extend their expired immigration visas. There have been several reports about North Koreans working as state-sponsored slaves in Europe to earn foreign currency for the regime. In related news, 3 North Korean workers have reportedly disappeared from their workplaces in Malta in the past year. All are known to have defected to South Korea, but Seoul's foreign ministry refused to confirm on that, saying the issue of North Korean defectors is something that cannot be opened publicly for their safety, as well as to avoid diplomatic tensions. Among EU member countries, Malta is considered to have the closest ties to North Korea. Korean tech giant Samsung Electronics has seen its quarterly operating profit rise to a 2-year high, largely propelled by robust sales in its smartphone division. Shin Se-min reports.
Samsung Electronics has released its forecast-beating quarterly earnings report, which shows its operating profit in the April to June period jumped 18% from the year before to 8.1 trillion won, or $7.17 billion. Sales rose 5% to $45 billion, slightly higher than a preliminary earnings announcement, while its quarterly earnings rose 2% from a year earlier. Considering that Samsung's mobile division accounts for more than half of its revenue and profit, the recent popularity of its Galaxy S7 smartphone and mid to low-end product lineup have worked as a strategy to boost its entry to the world's overly saturated smartphone market. The company's smartphone sector reported an operating profit of $3.8 billion in Q2, and industry trackers project the South Korean company had sold some 26 million units of the newly released smartphone since it hit shelves in March. It's a stark contrast to its rival Apple, which reported a 15% drop in quarterly sales due to slowing demand for the iPhones. The South Korean company is hoping to prolong its solid sales in the third quarter with the launch of the Galaxy Note 7, the latest version of its large-screen flagship smartphone. Shin Se-min, ARIRANG News.
Turning to the Democratic National Convention now underway in the U.S., President Barack Obama says he's ready to pass the baton, and the person he wants to give it to is Hillary Clinton. In his highly anticipated speech, Obama highlighted her qualifications and linked her historic candidacy to his legacy. Our Hwang Ho-jun has more on that.
She was his rival when he was running for the White House, and later became the woman he made his Secretary of State. The woman is Hillary Clinton, and President Barack Obama made a strong case for her presidential bid on the third night of the Democratic Party's nominating convention in Philadelphia. Obama's speech has garnered a great deal of attention as it will be one of the last major addresses of his presidency. He also had a tough act to follow after his wife brought down the House with a powerful speech of her own on the first day of the convention. With thousands of people cheering for him, Obama expressed his confidence in Clinton as the person he trusts to finish what he started.
There has never been a man or a woman, not me, not Bill, nobody, more qualified than Hillary Clinton to serve as President of the United States of America.
Vice President Joe Biden also graced the occasion to deliver forceful remarks in support of Clinton's nomination. Virginia Senator Tim Kaine also got his first introduction to a national viewing audience as he accepted the nomination as Clinton's running mate. Before the big speeches, the night had witnessed some emotional moments as survivors and family members of the victims of 4 different mass shootings took the stage to call for stronger gun control laws. Gun control, which has been one of the most divisive issues in the U.S., has been one of the tenets of Clinton's presidential campaign. On Tuesday, Clinton became the first woman to represent a major political party in the race for the White House. Just after the nomination was made official, Clinton made an appearance via satellite to thank her supporters for helping her make history.
What an incredible honor that you have given me. And I can't believe we just put the biggest crack in that glass ceiling yet.
The world will get to hear her official acceptance speech on Thursday. Hwang Ho-jun, ARIRANG News.
And that is ARIRANG News Break for today. Stay tuned for more domestic and global news updates throughout the day. Thank you for watching.